In this video, we are going to configure a topology optimization with MSC Nastran. Now, this example is going to consider 3D elements like you see here. By the end of the video, this is what our final solution is going to look like. I'm not going to take the time to smooth this out, so I just want to show you what the steps are to go from this to this while satisfying a natural frequency constraint. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, we are going to be using a web app during this entire exercise. So if you want access to this web app so you can follow along, you can visit theengineeringlab.com, click on the blue button, fill out the form, and we'll go ahead and give you access to this web app. Okay, now I am assuming that you've already taken time to mesh your model, add materials, add supports, and all that other good stuff. Here's what the bulk data file looks like for this example. It's set to SO103. We have a subcase with an RBE2, SPC1, and all the 3D grids, or rather all the 3D elements, the nodes, the material, all of that is ready. So here is that same model. We have our 3D elements, we have our supports, we have our RBE2 with our concentrated mass here in the middle. The yellow region is going to be the non-design region. The green region is going to be the design region. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's go to the home page of this. And we'll go ahead and click on the optimization web app. Now, before you ever go to the interface, it's good to sit down and draft out the problem statement. So here you should ask yourself, what's the objective? What are the constraints? What are your variables? The objective is to minimize the fractional mass. The constraint is to constrain the first natural frequency to be greater than 50 hertz. And for our variables, this green section is going to be the design region. So always make sure you have the problem statement drafted. Never go to the interface and try to use the interface at the start. Draft your problem statement first. Once you have your problem statement, then move on to the interface. Here, I'm creating a topology design region, if you will. Here we have set to psolid2, the green region. Let's go ahead and define the objective. We want to minimize the fractional mass. For the constraints, let's look for frequency. We'll say that the first natural frequency is less than 50 hertz. And then for the settings, if you want to get to convergence, using 50 or 100 design cycles will usually get you to convergence. For myself, I know that a lot of the time you get near convergence a lot earlier. So at around 30 design cycles for this example, I get convergence within or near convergence during the first 30 design cycles. So let's go ahead and download the bulk data files. Let's go ahead and unzip the bulk data files. You can click on Start MSC Nastran to start the optimization, but here I'll have to go ahead and manually start optimization, or I'll start the optimization manually since I'm on Linux. Okay, so let's go ahead and give that some time to run. One thing you can do, you can inspect the F06 file for the results of the optimization. This will work if your F06 file is very small. So here, if we look at the first natural frequency, the first natural frequency is 294 hertz. At the end of design cycle 1, the natural frequency is not even reported. Let me see if this other web app works today. We'll go to the responses web app and we'll open the F06 file. So we'll see what's happening. Okay, so we see we've completed 3 design cycles. Let's go ahead and open the F06 file again. So we see that for the design cycle column, we see that this row is for design cycle 5. It's reporting the normal mode, which is the natural frequency. I believe we click on this button. It'll give us more information here. But what it's telling us, after design cycle 5, the natural frequency is now 60 hertz. And we know this because we're looking at the value column. Let me reload this again. Let me upload the F06 file again, let's go ahead and look at all this again. After design cycle 9, the natural frequency is now 51 hertz. So you can tell that material is being modified. It's trying to reduce the fractional mass. It's reducing the natural frequency, which was initially 294 hertz. So far, it's reduced it to 51 hertz. Let's go and look at this again. Let's go and look at, so by the end of design cycle 13, we are at 57 hertz. So one thing you'll notice from this table, you'll notice that for design cycle 1, 2, 3, and 4, there's no data for that design cycle when it comes to the constraints. Why is that happening? So this is what's happening. I believe it's called constraint screening in the documentation. So the initial natural frequency is 294 hertz, which is a lot higher than the lower bound of 50 hertz. So here the constraint, I'll call it as very okay. Eventually the natural frequency reaches 60 hertz, which is actually very close to 50 hertz. So here the constraint is active. When the constraint is very okay, the optimizer ignores that constraint. The optimizer knows that you're so far away from violating the constraint that it doesn't even bother considering that constraint. That's why it's absent. It's not reported. That constraint is very okay. The optimizer does not worry about the constraint. It ignores it. It eventually gets to a situation where the constraint gets very close to being violated. So it then starts considering that constraint. It reports that constraint. That happens in design cycle 5. So let's go to reload this and open the F06 file. Let's see where we're at. So we get to design cycle 28. We see that it's at 50 hertz. Now, I believe we're done. Okay, so we're done now. Let's open the local optimization web app. Let's upload the F06 file. Whenever you look at the results, you ask 2 questions. Number 1, did you minimize or maximize the objective? Here, we wanted to minimize the objective. So here we see it was minimized. We're good. 2, do you have a feasible design? Are you satisfying your constraints at the end? Here, for design cycle 5, the normalized constraint is -0.2. If we look here, the natural frequency was 60 hertz. So we're actually satisfying the constraint. The normalized constraint column shows -0.2. So this is feasible, feasible, feasible. If it's negative, it's feasible. Then you get positive. Positive, positive. Here it's positive 0.02 or 2% violation. If you look at design cycle 16, the natural frequency is 48.77. You're below the lower bound of 50 hertz. So the normalized constraint is positive. 2% violation, that's okay in my opinion. At the very end, you get a value of negative or positive 0.19. Let me repeat that. You get 1.98%. So you're violating the constraint by almost 2%. That's okay. We know it's a... Let's see, what is it? Let's go and reload this and upload the F06 file. We know that at the end, it is 49 hertz, which is a little under the 50 hertz. Okay, the results of the topology optimization are going to be contained in the .des file. So let me show you what that looks like. So that would be this file, .des. Let's go ahead and look at that file. So these are the results of the topology optimization. Let me do this. Okay, let's continue on. So what we want to do now, we want to look at the DES file in the web app. So let's go ahead and upload the bulk data files. And then we'll go ahead and upload the DES file. So let's go ahead and select the DES file. Now let's talk about the filtering value. Normally 0.3 is a good value. If you've seen the other topology tutorials that have been done in the past, this value is discussed. So 0.3 normally works. In this example, it's not going to work because it's going to give you these fragmented pieces of mesh, if you will. So this is not okay. So you could do this. You can accept this. You can accept this. And here, let me download the bulk data file. And let me open another viewer window. You can accept that issue that we saw a moment ago where we have disconnected elements in the mesh. And let me show you what that looks like. But then when you try and run that bulk data file, you're going to get rigid body modes or natural frequencies that are close to 0. So let me show you what I mean. So let's go ahead and run this, and we'll go to look at the natural frequencies real quick. And while that's happening, let me take a screenshot of this. So let's go ahead and take a screenshot of this. And let me show you what you can do. Before I go on to that, let me show you what the first natural frequency is. Oh wow, it's let me adjust the scale factor here on the right. So this is what I mean. You have these elements that are detached from the supported part of the mesh. So then you have this rigid body mode. So you can accept this. You can say, okay, you know what? This is okay with me. Let me look at the first non-zero natural frequency actually. Oh wow, I actually outputted 10 natural frequencies. Let's do this. What you can do is this. You can move this mesh to apex, MSC apex, and you can recreate your geometry there. So you would create maybe a solid geometry like this. You would maybe fill in the material. Here you could get more daring if you would like. Something like this. And then you would fill in that material. So this can be done in MSC Apex. And then for regions like this, this is one of the issues with topology optimization. You are going to get an ambiguous solution. You're going to get a solution that's not definitive. It's not clear. So then it's up to your judgment to decide, okay, what do I do with these lingering elements? Do you keep them or remove them? And then that becomes a trial and error process. In a separate video, we're going to use the emendate optimizer in MSC Nastran to get a more definitive and non-ambiguous solution like the one you see here. Okay, here while that's happening, let me look at this other window. Okay, let's carry on. So let's suppose you have a deadline and you need to confirm that this result satisfies your first natural frequency constraint of 50 hertz. This is what you can do. What I did was I experimented with this threshold. So we're saying keep every element with a topology variable greater than 0.08. Here, if you look closely, those lingering elements that we had before, so an element like these two elements, these are absent in this new filtered mesh. So I look at this and I say, you know what? That looks okay. Let's download the bulk data file. Let's open a new window. And we'll upload that new bulk data file. So let's take a look at that. And let's run this. Let's go ahead and run this with Sol 103. And let's go ahead and see if we get a non-zero natural frequency. So if after filtering, if you get something like this, that's okay. Move the mesh to MSC Apex. In Apex, recreate your CAD geometry in MSC Apex. Alternatively, you can fine-tune these filter values to get a continuous and connected mesh. Here, let's look at my first natural frequency. I get a natural frequency of 244 hertz. That's great. I've removed the material. I have this mesh. I've confirmed it satisfies the lower constraint of 50 hertz. Good. I can move forward with this possible solution. If you want, you can look at the other eigenvectors or other mode shapes. So this is what mode shape 2 looks like. This mode shape happens to have a natural frequency of 340 hertz. Okay, so there you have it. Let's go ahead and recap. We started with this. I assume you know how to create a Nastran model. Then we used the web app to create our top var entry for the topology design region. We created the objective, which is to minimize the fractional mass. We then configured a constraint to ensure that the first natural frequency is greater than 50 hertz. And then we experimented with the filtering. We got a mesh that looked like this. And then we confirmed the natural frequency is greater than 50 hertz. Alternatively, you can take this to MSC Apex and you can smooth out the optimization solution there. Now, one last thing. Sometimes you can run emendate for one design cycle. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. The reason you might want to run emendate for one iteration, sometimes it can smooth the mesh for you. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does not work. So I recommend trying it to see if it works. Let's look for MNPRM here. Let's go ahead and select this as the non-design region. And let's see if this works. So let's go ahead and make sure we configure the optimization parameters. Let's do this for one loop, does max equals 1. And let's set iprint equals 1. And let's go ahead and try and run this. And like I said, sometimes this does not work. Other times it does not work. If it does work, great. It's going to smooth that mesh that we had a moment ago. So we want to take this very coarse and jagged edge with sharp corners, and we want to smooth it out by using the emendate optimizer. Sometimes that works, sometimes it does not work. In this case, it did not work. And I'll describe why it did not work. During the optimizer or the optimization, emendate removed too much material. Here we only have 2 elements through the thickness, so I suspect they removed a lot of these elements in the first iteration, so that's why it failed. That's okay. It didn't work for us. This case, it might work for you if you use more elements in your initial mesh. Okay, so in the other tutorial we're going to use the emendate optimizer to do the same optimization, but hopefully get a smooth mesh. And one last thing, just in case you do have a question, you can always contact me at this email address, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. So as always, thank you for watching, and that's the end of today's exercise.